Good day, everyone. It's Kevin Alt, CEO of Actually Coach Texas. Today we've got Aaron Pearson with us. Aaron's got a very interesting company called BitBranding. Aaron, thank you for sharing with us your secrets to success and your lessons learned both sides. Aaron, can you build us some runway on your business and yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. But one, I appreciate you having me on. It's always fun, especially since we're really close locally. We didn't even know it. But
Yeah.
yeah, just give some context. We're just I would consider myself and just my business partners. We started this small town kids who happen to kind of chase that big dream. So we started the company as a side hustle and just kind of built it up. Started working the typical 60, 70, 80 hours a week with our full-time jobs and pulling this on the side. And then from there, we really just said, okay, which was ignorant. We have $2,000 in our bank account. Let's quit our jobs because that seems like a smart idea to do when you have that little money. But throughout that, we've built an agency, and then we continue to niche down, and we'll probably talk a little bit more about that. But right now, what we do is we serve clothing brand owners, boutiques, and we have literally focused on only serving that niche, and we're all over the world serving those people with our program and hands-on services for them. But that's just a little, yeah, I guess a little bit of background there, and I can dive deeper if you want me to, but I'll give you kind of a
Yes.
top level.
So if people want to learn about your company, what website do they go to?
Bitbranding.co, so .co. Eventually, this guy will sell it to us. He's trying to sell it to us for like 10 grand, but he has not responded back. So we're trying to buy .com eventually, but
Keep
.co,
it there.
bitbranding.co.
Yeah, all good. So as you think about the growth you've had over this period of time, what do you attribute that growth to, Aaron?
It kind of cut out there for a second. Say
Oh,
say that one. Say that one
no.
more time.
Yep. So as you think about the growth you've experienced, what do you attribute that growth to?
I think there's several factors to this. One, bullheadedness, perseverance, and just like, getting through the tough times. I think we have this innate belief that in the West, at least, that life is supposed to be easy. So we think that business should be easy, and it's not. And so it's just kind of a reality check for a lot of people, I think, and even myself as well. So persistence, I think also a great support system without the support of my wife, but great business partner. My faith plays a huge part of this as well. Without that, I don't think that's possible. If you come home every day and you're working on something that's taken away from time with your spouse, even if it's just doing something else, if you don't have that support, it's very difficult to try to dedicate time towards it. And also needs to be alignment with like what we actually want to serve. Again, I think that's why a big part of my faith and my business partner of the encouraging. And then niching down to a very specific audience. Being number one, our goal is, and we are striving towards being number one in the world at something. I think it's admirable. I think it allows people to gravitate towards something, allows us to build a team, and we all have a very clear North Star of where we're going. So those three factors, I think, have really attributed to a lot of the reason we've seen quote unquote success.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate you weaving faith into it as well. Well done. To me, it makes a tremendous difference. Huge difference. All the difference, actually. So you think about what makes your business unique. Why is it that folks choose to work with you?
I think there's two factors. One of them we hear a lot through our content, which is and I'll answer it that way first. We have always led with the Zig Ziglar quote of if we help enough other people and like it what they would like, basically we'd be taking care of ourselves. We'd be taken care of. Like I don't want to butcher Zig Ziglar, but just give credit where credit's due in that situation. But we've always led with education, whether it's content creation on Facebook or YouTube or our podcast or anything. We've put out hundreds, if not thousands, of pieces of content to just add value. And so, in doing so, I think that we come across as authentic, and people really say, "Hey, look, it doesn't seem like you're trying to get something from me," or there's not a gotcha. It's a wow, this advice worked. It grew my business, and you gave it away for free. And so I think that's a big part of it. People always need the help. They're just waiting for the foot to drop, and the foot never drops on our end. We're just genuinely trying to help other people. And so people have referred us, and our business is stuck around because of it. But at the end of the day, I think it's just summed up, I guess, a little bit simpler, which is just our focus has and always will be the education and helping other people. Business is about solving problems, and that's what we're doing.
Well said. Well done. Yeah, it's called the law of precession. We help enough other people get what they want out of life, you get what you want out of life. Give first, create value for others first. So if you had to think back around starting your business back 8+ years ago, if you had to start from square one, what would you do differently, Aaron? What would you do differently and start over?
The first thing I would do differently, well, one, I think our start, we wouldn't have changed anything on that. But what we would have done quicker was to niche down into an audience and ask the question, who do we actually want to serve? We attracted people who said, "Here's money." They put it in front of our face and said, "Help us." And so we did those things, and we enjoyed helping them. But we we niched down, I think, not too late, but niching down now has completely changed the direction of our company. And so I would do that sooner, maybe 2 3 years sooner. I think we had to go through the patches of like serving multiple people in different personalities and in the systems that weren't built yet and building out our processes so that we could be ready to niche down. But now that we've niched down, it makes a lot of sense. And uh, we told this to everybody, which is that having a very defined target market and a very specific audience that you're going after is easier to market, but we really weren't drinking our own medicine at that right at that in that sense. And so doing that and doing it sooner, I think it has a positive impact. But that being said, I don't know if I would change too many things because where we're at today, I'm very happy with the pieces that we've done to put in place.
A lot of owners don't realize the power of having very defined markets and being able to seek to understand what they're looking for and go give it to them. So the marketing message is powerful, impactful, and conversion rate is very high. Very efficient way to go build a business. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it makes the close or the sale, right? I think, in general, sales don't happen without trust and people buy from people. But if you come from a place of an authority where you're seen as a subject matter expert, there is no sales. It's just a transfer of value and in exchange of money. So I think that makes it easier. And so that's really kind of where we're at. The easiest conversations we ever have for people are like, hey, look, I've been watching you for 3 months, 6 months, 2 years. Just tell me where I need to sign up. I know that you're going to provide the value. I don't need to find out all the details. I want to receive more information from you. I want more.
Yeah, very well said. It's not hard selling, it's transfer of value in exchange for money. They get value and they give you money back, which you then use for you're running your business and on and on. Profits, various things, growth. So personal life. As you look at your journey as an entrepreneur, how do you balance personal life with the demands of ramping up a business?
I think, man, there is the balance word is one that I have come to the conclusion there is no level of balance. There's only imbalances, and then you kind of counteract those throughout different periods, right? So my first daughter was born in 2019, and at that time the company was in infancy stage, and so I was able to spend a little bit more time with her, but also um, just because of naps and things like that, we're able to spend more time on the business at different periods. As she's grown older, it's more of a, okay, it's early mornings or late nights or whatever. So it's just counteracting what's going off of their schedule. So, and it's also, I think, on my end, it's what is the biggest priority, which is the family. Okay, so if it is family, what does the day actually need to look like? How do I structure my life around the business? And then when I am doing business, I can't be messing around on my phone. I can't be doing other things. It's just and only is business so that I can get the most amount of things done. Um, and now we're at a different stage because we have people who have been able to help us and team members who are amazing, who can take things off of the plate so that we can talk big vision and focus on areas that only, ownership can do, or at a better level, I guess, anyway. And so people have been able to help as well. So building the company, I don't think that it would be possible to spend as much time with my family or prioritize them as much as I should if it wasn't for a great team, a supportive business partner, supportive wife. But we've kind of meandered through that. We've always prioritized family, but it just looks a little bit different. Our family vacations early on looked like we're traveling, we're going to go somewhere fun, but in the mornings for the first couple of hours, you guys are going to grab breakfast and dad's going to work for a couple of hours, and then we're going to go to the beach together. And so it's more of a work-life immersion than it is a work-life quote unquote balance. Because I don't think there is a true balance with it.
Great point. One of my mentors taught me some years ago. He uses the word harmony where it flows together.
Yeah, I would agree with that, huh? Yeah.
Life and business flows together in harmony, not or. Because you're right, the or thing, it's not really doesn't make sense. It's not a realistic expectation of being an owner.
Mm-hmm.
So excellent. Yeah, part of why I asked the balance question is to draw that out, what you just brought up, so that owners realize, yeah, how can you have the two flow together? Works so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Much better. So you are an employer. What have been your biggest learnings as an employer since you began the business?
Well, I think the biggest thing that I've learned is that business is actually extremely easy until you get people involved.
Interesting.
I mean, there is it's constant. I think it's one of those things where you're trying to learn candor and doing it in a kind way. You're trying to make sure to be, because I think early on in my leadership style, it was, hey, I'm your friend, and good job, even if something wasn't up to par. But then when something went too far, quote unquote, bad, I would be upset, be like, hey, what happened here? Like, well, you've been telling me I've been doing a good job. And so it's like there's a huge disconnect. That's not a good leader. A good leader doesn't just leave that gap. And so now it's more of a, hey, I want to know you as a person, because now, at least in the benefit for our size of company is because of the size of company we have, we get to know them on a personal and emotional level. So we know what ways to talk to these people, because everybody is different, and give them the tools that they need to be successful. And so it's helped me learn how to have conversations with them, and I'm still continuing to get better. This is always I don't think there is no, you reach the highest level and you check this box. It's a constant back and forth of, how do I respect this person, guide this person, and meet them where they're at, and then give them the tools that they need to be successful. And if I do need to make the decision where it's no longer effective for the team, for both of us, then it's no longer a shock. No one should ever be shocked that this is their last day at the company, because were never given a chance. And so with people, I think it's given me patience, and it's also given me insight and understanding that most people don't think like me at all. I'm an entrepreneur at heart. I think about this. I'm going 90 miles an hour. I'm thinking about Q4 right now of 2024, and we're still in Q1. And
Mhm.
so if I don't slow down and bring people along for the ride, I could finish the race and realize that the whole back half of the bus is gone. And so it's really helped me put perspective into life, and to like what it really takes to, I don't know, just continue to grow with people. So, yeah.
Yeah, professionally managing the team is important, whether you have 2 employees or 200 employees. Very important. A tip another mentor of mine gave me, about 4 years ago. He said that he learned to be friendly, not be friends.
Mm, yep.
Important distinction. Because we found as we became friends with the team, then the accountability piece was very challenging. Or to get it back because it got lost is very challenging as well.
Mhm.
So pretty strong distinction. Be friendly to, not be friends with.
Yeah.
Be their manager, be their leader.
Yeah.
So as we talk further about team, what qualities do you look for in your employees, and how do you foster a positive and productive work environment, Aaron?
I think there is, from the way that we're looking at this now, like we just hired somebody actually yesterday. They technically signed, and we went on a photo shoot for our website. So it was like a bang bang as far as joining the team. So what we're looking at is the job description that we wrote, do they fill that need and do they have experience in that in the past? Right. And so early on, we didn't really have that. It's more of like who's the best characteristics and personality traits to mesh with the company. I think the first 20 people of a company completely define the culture. If somebody is lazy or somebody is rude or somebody is, facetious, those types of characteristics define the company and it can completely squash that. So we look at the personality, always look at the jockey, not necessarily the horse, but the jockey. So what is their personality like? Are they going to mesh with our team? This is a little unorthodox, but one of our hiring tech practices at this point is you'll have an initial interview to see if it's a good fit. You kind of pass through that. The second interview, after we typically would do some kind of mock of what your actual role is, but before that, you just meet the whole team. You jump on Zoom and it's maybe a little intimidating, but you get to see the personalities of the people you're going to work with each day. And real quickly, I don't know if I want to work with those people, or actually, these are my people and I would love that. Because we're too small of a company in the sense that one person impacts the company in a dramatic way, emotionally and in time wise, investments. So we really got to covet that. But what I always look for, like I said, is do they have the skill set? Can they add value? Have they done it before in a proven way, and have they had success? And then most importantly, do they mesh well with our team? The best and most highly skilled employee with a really bad personality who doesn't mesh with our team will never be on our team ever. But I think those are the two factors that we have there. Can they demonstrate the actual job need, and do they get along with our team?
Fit your team, fit your culture. Yeah, nice. Last question that I've got for today is, what are some of the common misconceptions about being a business owner, about running a business?
I think the biggest one is that you'll make more money as a business owner than you would as an employee, or that it's a needed thing. I think a lot of people showcase on the internet that you're going to have Lamborghinis and that you're going to have a bed full of money and you're going to do all these things. And I'm not saying that's not possible. And I have not saying that we have not made money. We absolutely have. But if your goal is the pursuit of money, you're better off joining a tech startup and being employee 30 and cashing out than you are to try to start a company. Because it takes time to build something of substance. It also takes a lot of hard work. You can work and be a number two or a number three at a company and make way more money. I don't think that I had the opportunity to do something else. I was born as as I think at this point it's more of as a God-given talent of like I started my first company when I was 9. I got rid of that company when I was 18. I started another company in college. I started a company after that. So like my goal and my ideas have always been around entrepreneurship, and I am not a good employee by any means. So going and working for corporate America wasn't for me. I had to find in my like what was going to fulfill me and how I was going to serve people, and that was the entrepreneurship route. And there's a reason that only 3% of people are entrepreneurs, whereas the 97 work for them. And so just chasing the money is not. I don't think it's worth it. You're not going to be happy. You'll get the money maybe, but even if you don't, you're going to lose. I think lose out on a lot of opportunities. So mine's actually a discouragement of like pursuing that route just to do it, but actually like scratch an itch. I think everybody should try, and I think a lot of people are entrepreneurial, but going and trying to build a business is not easy. It's very difficult on relationships. Most of them end in divorce, and you have to have a strong foundation. And now let me flip that on its head to say that's all the negatives. The positives are limitless upside for revenue, if that's what you would like. A great relationship, access to things that you never would have had access to before. But I think the reason or the heart behind why you're pursuing something matters more than anything. So the misconception is that it's always sunshine and rainbows. But I think the biggest thing to focus on here is that entrepreneurship is the biggest roller coaster in the world, and people don't realize until they get on the roller coaster that they don't like roller coasters. And so that's my tread lightly situation, but also be okay with the fact that you can be entrepreneurial and not have to not have to build an actual company. I want more entrepreneurs to go out and do these things and make their lives better for families. But I don't think that they need to run an actual company if that's not really like something that they would enjoy. If they're chasing it for the wrong reasons. So a long-winded answer, and I know I went in two different spots there, but I really wanted to clarify because I think that people listen to podcasts and videos and everything, and nobody really talks about the fact that sometimes it just sucks. A lot of times it just sucks, but the upside is worth it. You just gotta check yourself and realize that it's going to be difficult. It is worth it, but it's not going to be just easy. So the misconception I think is that this is an easier route.
Well said. Very true. Very true. So, Aaron, any last comments before we wrap it up today?
I think, yeah, just echoing what I said earlier, which is that all of this, you gotta realize why you're doing something, why you're building something. If you don't know the why, you don't have the North Star. It's very difficult to grow. So find that out. Ask yourself questions why. And then find people in your corner, whether it is a business partner, whether it is your spouse and your spouse, these are all ands, and your faith. There's something between those three that makes business more fun, more fulfilling, and more exciting to share those things with it. And I think that putting those in there also gives you a better chance of success. So really hone in on that support system and a really strong foundation. That's what's going to help grow a business.
Very well said. And again, your website?
It is BitBranding, so BitBranding.co.
Perfect. Aaron, thank you so much for pouring into the business community. Well done. Look forward to the future growth as you guys continue to go up the critical mass curve. So again, appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.